Hey, KORRIGON, how are you doing?
Hello, Peter.
Long time no see. So,
Yeah, I
how,
guess it has been a while.
so I do have a camera that you can adjust, move it down a tiny bit. Perfect. There you go. Now we see you. So,
Yeah, you
everybody
told me above the head, so
above the head. Yep. It's just it looks better if you put it down.
no,
It just
never mind. That's
I
wrong
know.
head.
Well, it is above that head if you're going to talk about that.
Yes.
So this is KORRIGON, guys. I've known him for a long time, but I'm going to let him introduce himself. KORRIGON, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Corrigan. Played with basically, obviously, Meet Peter and War Dragons. When I moved up to Project Ghost. I live in Oregon. Place. It's actually a county district called Green, Oregon, but it's near Roseburg, which is the biggest city around here, about 26,000 people, which is about, give a perspective, about 4 hours south of Portland, so considered Southern Oregon, where most of the trees and mountains and the actual pictures you see of Oregon, other than the coast. Moved up here. Used to live in California. Moved up here about 21 years ago. Had to get out of the Southern California life. Got too expensive and just too many damn people. So, and that's how I ended up in Oregon. So, and I've been happy living up here. It's nice. Everything has its pluses and minuses, but overall, I'm pretty happy living up here. So,
Thank you very much for that introduction. So you said that we obviously played War Dragons together.
yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about your experience finding this stream and being a part of it? I know you've been here since the very beginning.
Well, as you know, you started off doing YouTube videos, and then basically training or introduction videos of War Dragons, and then you started your daily vlog, I think you called it, and you did that for quite a while, and I watched that daily, and then something made you unhappy, which we won't go into, and then you kind of slowly stopped off of that, and then I was aware of your economy up there and what happened to you, so I remember having a talk with you, telling me how you were going to try Twitch out and the time frame that you're given to make it work for you and your family. So, so because of that, of course, I supported you from day one when your first Twitch episode was just your tablet on War Dragons, and when you used to play copyrighted music until we found out you couldn't do that, and then as a start, then you got your camera, then you got your laptop, and then it just kind of went from there. But I was there from the beginning because I was hoping this was something that would work for you. I know it's long hours, and it's and it takes a toll on your life and family. But what people here mostly know, I believe, and need and understand is, yes, you do this for us, but you do this for you and your family as well. So I think that's very important for everybody to know. So.
Thank you very much. So you said you're in Oregon, right?
Yes.
Is that a coincidence, KORRIGON, Oregon, that they're rhyming? Is that why you chose Oregon?
No. So what happened is my first MMO was Ultima Online, and because I used to play Ultima games, so I was able to beta test that game, and so I had to create a handle, and I just one day what happened was one of my cats actually walked across my keyboard and KORR typed in the screen, and I'm like, and then I just said, well, I'll do IGON and called it good. So that's kind of how that got invented, was partly because of one of my cats. So
Okay, so the cat gets credit for the name.
Yes, okay. Cat gets credit for the name. Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first met you, it's
Hmm.
I looked up Korrigon to see if it was part of another game or something like that. I didn't know
Hmm.
if it was completely random or you had just decided it, but it's nice to finally know the story behind that.
Yeah, it was kind of cute because when you're and probably as a black bar and other people know is when you're if you're actually on a keyboard or something and your cat's right next to you and you don't pay attention to it, it'll walk over and sit on your keyboard. So mine just happened to walk across it trying to get my attention. So, but yeah, it was pretty cute.
So, as you know, I've been here on Twitch for 2 years, and
Mhm.
being here from day one, you know very well how much I love food. Now, there's
Yes.
something that specifically you have done since day one. You like to find times that I'm live, and I'm obviously very hungry, and send me pictures of something. Can you tell us a little bit
Yes.
of what pictures you send, and tell us a little bit about that hobby of yours?
So the pictures are totally legal and you can actually view them. Basically, I enjoy cooking food. Mainly, I love using my pellet smoker outside. So, but not always. But a lot of the pictures were when I smoked salmon or smoked brisket or tri-tip or sometimes I'll take a pork tenderloin, butterfly it, stuff it with cheese and spinach and other things, and rewrap it up, and then wrap it with bacon. And there was times I sent Peter pictures of when I decided to do like a big giant meatball where I took some mozzarella cheese and wrapped the meatball around the cheese and wrapped that with bacon and then barbecue sauce, and I actually put that in the air fryer and I'll just send Peter some pictures. He's been streaming for 3 or 4 hours and he says he's hungry, so I'll send him a picture, and then he says thanks, and gets a little mad, not really, um, but I like doing that because it it relieves stress out of my life and it makes people happy. So I give a lot of food to my neighbors and stuff, and yeah, so I really enjoy cooking, smoking. Really love the pellet smoker, and then just when it starts up, you get the good wood fire smell, and I use basically a lot of apple wood, which gives it a sweet flavor, and then and then the neighbors kind of smell it too, and they go, "Oh, what are you doing now?" So it's just kind of a hobby, pretty fun hobby. So
So, that being your hobby, have you ever worked in a kitchen before, or has it always been just pure hobby?
hobby because as you probably are aware, is when if you're working in a kitchen, it's going to be you get to 3 or 4 hours early for the prep work and long hours, and I want it to be more fun than a job. Now, some people, chefs, obviously they enjoy that kind of thing, but me too much of something becomes not fun anymore. If that makes sense.
Yeah, completely understandable. Now, um, you mentioned that we met through a game. We met through War Dragons.
Right.
We've known each other. I almost want to say 5 years, a long time.
Been a
Um,
while, yeah.
um, do you play any other games? Can you tell us a little bit about your gaming history? What got you into games, and what type of games do you play? Is it only mobile games? What is it?
No, so I obviously had an old Nintendo Entertainment System. So my first actual console system was an Atari, 2600, and then got my Nintendo, then Super Nintendo, Genesis. I actually have a Sega Dreamcast. For those of you who, that was the last system that Sega made, was a Dreamcast, and then PS1, which kind of changed a lot of things. And at the same time, I did have a PC. Um, because kind of back then it was more of a PCs were a lot more powerful than consoles were back then. Now they're getting kind of close, but as you can see from your PC, um, PC still has significant advantages over consoles in a lot of ways. Um, but then consoles, you just put in the game and it works. Whereas a PC, as you know, sometimes you got to tweak it, and some people just, it annoys them to do that. But mobile games, I pretty much play two of them. War Dragons, which has divested less time lately, as you know, for the reasons. And then I've been playing a game, it's called Vikings, which I've been playing for a long time, which I log in for 10 minutes a day and I'm done. So a lot of games that I'm playing today is there's a game I play called Conan Exiles, which you probably see me sometimes play it through Steam, which I played that one for 4.5 years now. And it's basically a survival game, so you start off with nothing, and then you build your own armor, you build your own castles or houses or whatnot, and then there's PvP if you choose to be involved in that. And it's just like, and then it's like an RPG, you go and do dungeons, you kill dragons and whatnot. But those kind of games kind of interest me because it kind of has a storyline, but you can actually have more control of the environment. You can build tree houses. You can build, bases on hills. You can actually build an underwater base, although you can't breathe well, you can breathe underwater, but it's more difficult. But it's just you have a lot more freedom to impact the environment. Not to say I don't really enjoy all the Final Fantasy games. Playing one, and being in the U.S., of course, there were quite a few that I did not play, which I'm able to play today. Because in the U.S., as you know, they skipped Final Fantasies from what the Japanese version had. So
yeah, they skipped 2 and 3.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, because they had Final Fantasy, of course, the original one, which that
2, 3,
actually
5.
got me into RPGs. That actually got me very interested in RPGs. That and one of the Ultimate Exoduses I played on Nintendo too, until I got to play it on the computer. But yeah, so Final Fantasy is probably one of the best gaming series I've ever played. I remember when I had my PlayStation 1, I pre-ordered Final Fantasy 7, and they had a midnight release, and they gave me a call and told me come on down and pick it up. And I woke up at midnight, went down there, picked it up, and to start playing it. It was for me, that was one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, was 7. So.
Okay, so you already brought up Final Fantasy, or brought up your Conan Exiles. In the entire history of your gaming, well, it's a hobby, right? For your gaming, what would you name to be, let's say, the most memorable or your favorite game?
Ultima 7 for the PC.
Reason being?
I have to say. Yeah, Ultima 7. It was because I remember I was in high school and it was summer vacation, and I basically played that all summer, and just the way it interacted with the characters, and you had to have a pretty good computer to play that one back then, because it was not loading screens, it was a real-time environment. So as you walk, the game continuously updated as you walked. And then just the control you had, you got to pick your own members of your team, and for that. And then they had an expansion, which they called Ultima 7 Part 2, which I also really enjoyed and played a lot of. So I think out of all the games, that's the one I remember that I really go back to the most, or think about the most, is that one. So.
Okay, so on the topic of the stream, you said that you've been here since day one. You've been here since before I even was on camera. For those of you who don't know, like KORRIGON said, I had my tablet and I put it on speaker and I spoke into that and streamed live the first 2 streams. So if you weren't following me on the first or second day, by day 3 I had a laptop. So just so everybody knows the context of that. Can you tell me how has the stream, oh my let me just change something. I just noticed this.
Oh, I'm Jazzy.
Yeah, you were Jazzy. Sorry.
Oh,
Now you're Korrigon.
sorry, I got it. Rough voice here.
Now, if can you tell me a little bit about, from the viewer perspective, how the stream has evolved from day one until now, and how it's been being part of this community and being with us the entire time?
You know, it's been really an adventure too, watching myself learning the user end of Twitch and watching you learn the streamer end of Twitch. Because I remember you went into it not knowing a whole lot, and luckily you had people in the beginning that kind of helped you get set up, advised you on cameras and laptops, but I remember every little thing that you added. It was kind of looking at what you have today. Today, if you added something little, it'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Well, back then, it was like, wow, look at that 10-bit. Wow, look at that, Peter. Look. And we talked about 10-bit, and then we all threw bits in it and threw channel points in it, and had them battle all the time. But something that small that you learn how to figure out, and you put on the stream. It was just like, wow, look at that. This is cool. And then you added, what was the next thing you added? The avatars came up, and we're like, oh my goodness, look at that. And we started with these little avatars, and then you brought the dragons in, but then you had to readjust them because they were actually a little bit too big. Yeah. And but it's just that all those little things you start adding to the stream, and just watching that, one day, here's what I got, here's what I got, and just watching you build up to the level you have today. I mean, it was just so exciting. You always wonder, okay, what's Peter figuring out now? What's he learning now? What direction? We kind of had an idea what direction the stream was going, but what kind of background stuff is he going to do? What other content is he going to add? Then he added the lights behind you, and then you had that little, I forget what you called it. You were so excited, that little push button. I don't remember what you called it.
Stream Deck.
Yeah, Stream Deck. And then you explained that, and you played with that, and well, that's cool. There's another feature, and then what you have today, and Bear and I kind of gave you advice, and then they got your computer built, and now you have 3. I mean, you went from nothing to 3 screens. All the background images you have, timers, your new friggin' chair, which you could have had probably a year and a half ago, but
probably should have had a year and a half ago.
Yeah, but you still got it. And then soundproofing your room for your family purposes, and just watching the stream go from the beginning to where it is now, for me, has been a really great, wonderful journey, watching that and watching you grow and be somewhat successful, or very successful, not somewhat, to be able to give us content and be able to help, take care of your family as well. I know things haven't always been easy, but I've been really impressed on, the beginning grassroots part of it to where you're at now and where we're at now has just been totally amazing. And I've been honored to actually see that growth, because for a lot of people that just popped in within the last 6 months, just not knowing how we started to what we have now, it's just totally, you would never believe how we first started. I just think it's amazing. So
we are in the corner of my room, boxed off in front of a closet.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, if you actually scroll to the top of the Discord memes, the original memes that came out, I was literally boxed in a corner, and I would spend 10, 12 hours in the corner like that. But yeah, it is fun. I was looking at some of the original clips and stuff. It is fun to watch. Now,
amazing.
Like you brought up, we've expanded on content. Mainly the big push started during the subathon last year. We started introducing a lot of new content. We do a lot of retro. We do a lot of other platformers, rage games, chatting, music. We actually completely stepped away from the roots of War Dragons. Now, out of all the content that I do you have any specific, oh, this is my favorite type of thing that he does? Or do you have, and do you have something I wouldn't mind a little bit less of this kind of thing? Can you tell us about both sides of the spectrum from your opinion?
So honestly, I'm not going to BS you. I enjoy everything that you bring to the stream. I like the variety. I like not watching or participating in the same thing every day. I will say that, like you, I was getting kind of bored of Jackbox. Back then, because obviously there were issues and stuff, but you felt the same way. So nothing saying that, like tonight you're going to be going back into that, but like having that every day would just be like, oh, okay, but you don't do that. You have retro game, you have rage day, you have party day, Friday, you have your normal PC games that you play. And honestly, there's been some retro games that I haven't seen before that I'm like, oh, that actually looks fun. It's not something I'm going to go out and play myself, but I enjoy watching you play it. And it's kind of like, okay, so now I understand, the storyline, and then I'm satisfied. I don't have to go in and play another game to figure out the storyline and stuff. So I honestly don't think I would change anything on what you're doing. As we come up with ideas, we throw them towards you, of course, and coming out with new content and new things is always good. But just the variety of what you do keeps me entertained every time I get a chance to sit down and actually focus on your stream, because it's never the same every day. It might be the same category, but it's really not the same thing every day. So I would not change anything at all.
Okay, so on that note, is there anything that you think that you'd like to see? Something that we haven't done before that maybe you'd like to see? Maybe a little more of something?
It's hard to do, but kind of like what you and your brother did that one time, trying to figure out if there's a game to play for a few hours that people from the stream, I mean, other than Jackbox, like a Steam game or something that people can join up and play with you, and you can stream it. But I understand it's kind of hard with everybody's time frame and time zones. But that way, I think the people on the stream have a chance to directly interact with you and basically be part of the stream as they're playing the game, kind of thing.
More, you're talking about like more cooperative games, like
that one time you and I played Diablo, know. And obviously that would have to be planned ahead, and sometimes that's hard for some people, but that's something I think that it may not have to be done on a weekly thing, but maybe once in a while. I think that would be fun for the community, maybe.
That's actually a really good idea. And speaking of which, tomorrow we actually have Lethal Company. It's a new game. It's a cooperative game where you're stranded on a moon, dying together, trying to finish quests.
Dying together?
Well, there's like aliens that go around and eat you, but you're working as a team. It's kind of like Among Us, where there's no murder or anything, and you try to complete these quests and stay alive. And we are actually playing that tomorrow, and anyone is welcome to join.
That's cool.
Lethal Company. Timing hasn't been confirmed, but probably starting early afternoon, early afternoon, noon-ish.
But that I think would be fun. but like you just having variety of content makes it very interesting for me to continue watching you add new stuff and try new things out. I think it's really cool.
I do appreciate that. Now, in this 2 years, KORRIGON, question that we've all been waiting for: what is the most memorable moment out of all the time that we've been live, maybe 4,000 hours? Out of all of that time, is there something that really stands out, or a handful of things that maybe stand out as, oh my god, I'll never forget this moment?
Well, kind of one of the things was when Merch made that agreement with you. That's something that I'll never forget. And Randy's first stream, and I remember I'm like, oh no, because you were dying a lot on Battletoads, so I was serious. Okay, how much would it cost for you to stop doing this? But then when the first subathon ended, and it kind of amazed me that you remember that because I was out on my medical then from back surgery. You ended the stream, and I was serious, and I'm like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? So I remember you ending that stream and me saying that, and it was funny that you brought that up recently, because I kind of meant that. I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? Because it was like what 18 days, and it was
18 days, 12 hours, 52 minutes, and it was funny, guys. Just to clarify, the stream had already ended. We had our fireworks. We had fireworks set up for when it ended. We sang the goodbye song and shut down the stream. And then literally 10 minutes later in chat, KORRIGON types, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? And I actually looked at my chat, and almost every day when I was offline, KORRIGON would be in there.
Yeah.
Is he live? Where is he?
Yeah, because it was just you get into a routine, but obviously it's not realistic for you to be streamed 24/7. There's no way, but it was just so much fun. Oregon Trail, and playing that, because I remember you looking at and I'm telling you, just play the game, you'll like it. Play the game, you'll like it, and then you see it. So, yeah, and then of course I came back as the villain, and then you shot me. I'm like, why'd you shoot me for? But obviously it's all in fun, and you're streaming and we're typing, and we might have been in a call, I don't remember, but it was just that interaction from the first subathon was really, really fun. And then I think the other thing that I think is more what I remember a lot too is your charity streams. And like what was said before, I see some people, okay, we're going to give 20%, we're going to give this, you give 100%. To me, that's a charity stream. If you're going to do a charity stream, and you got to do it. You got to do 100% towards whatever charity you believe in or want to support at that time. And so that's why I really enjoy your charity streams as well. So
yeah, we've done quite a few. I usually end up doing some stupid, crazy, embarrassing milestones from them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we do a lot, and we've been through a lot. And you talked up the community and talked about my growth, but I would like to also comment on the community growth. And this channel and this community is as much all of your guys' baby as it is mine. And I firmly do believe that. I'm not the only one. I might be the only one on camera 24/7 during these subathons, but you guys are here as well, right here in chat, supporting, helping us get through it. I always worry about whether or not you guys are going to get sick of my face or not.
No. And I know you had a concern when you were adding content too, and I knew you made the right decision because I knew a long time ago what was going on with your original content. So you did it out of a need to basically survive and keep your stream interesting for us, which I do appreciate. And I know that was a worry for you for a while, and then as time went on, you saw that you acquired, more viewers because of what you've done, and people popped in because you were streaming a certain thing. Like David popped in because he's like, okay, this is cool. It may have been at an interesting time when with the drinking and stuff, but still, you were able to keep those viewers. They pop in, they go, oh, this is cool, and they keep coming back. I think that's exactly why you're growing and basically being successful, whereas 95% of the people are not successful because they don't adjust, they don't make changes when they need to change. But you did. I mean, you put everything in basically to starting the stream, and maybe that's why you're successful, is because your heart's really into it, whereas other people that may do it as a hobby. No, this is you. This is your baby, and it shows, man. It really does.
Well, big or go home, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. It's very kind of you to say. So, as we close up, is there anything in particular you'd like to say, whether it be to me or chat or in general? Is there anything you'd like to say in closing?
No, just keep doing what you're doing. We're all here to support you. Just keep the content rolling in. Not too many people can continue content like this first subathon. Always having something going on, always having something to do. And I know sometimes you just kind of freelance it. Because like you said, sometimes you don't know if you're just talking to yourself, but there's people watching in the background, and there's some people that are at work or whatnot that maybe can't directly interact with the chat, but they are listening to you and they are glancing at you. So I just wanted to let you know that when people are on, there's a lot of people listening and watching you more sometimes than being involved in chat. So you are being watched.
Yes, I see that. So once again, KORRIGON, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend time with us, everybody. This was KORRIGON. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day to come and chill and chat with me. I will be taking this highlight. It'll probably be about 24 hours before I can get it posted in Discord, because it's attached to our current VOD.
Of course.
But I do appreciate you taking time out of your day to do this with us. And I do apologize. I forgot to change the in call, so the first 13 minutes.
Yeah. I was jazzy, darn it.
Yeah, for 13 minutes, and then you changed to KORRIGON. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So
sounds good, guys.
Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you later.
Take care, everyone.
And everybody, that was KORRIGON. Let's get some hype in the chat for KORRIGON. What a great call. KORRIGON's been here since day one. He's been here since my YouTube times. Just for a little bit of context, I didn't stream on